G'day people and welcome. I'm Sharon and today I'm using my friend Kathryn's Janome CM17 to show you how to put together a composite design from smaller designs. The designs that I'm using come from Janome's 1835 design CD, which they often give as a bonus with machines. If you've got that CD and you haven't looked at it, it is really worthwhile to take a look at. Let's get started. We're in the edit screen and I'm going to go looking for designs. Now I can go and look at them in the built-in designs on the machine. I would need to tell it which hoop that I want to look at. So maybe I'm getting various baby things, but you'll notice that is put right in the middle of the hoop, and each design will be added to the middle of the hoop. But as long as I've got the edit screen open, when I open a new design it will be dropped right into the middle of the hoop, and then I can move them around and do whatever I like with them. I can also go to my USB to get designs. I just come down here to the arrow coming out of a folder. Certainly nothing baby-like in here. So wherever I go to get designs, whether they be designs that I've got on a USB or designs that are built into the machine or designs that I have saved into the machine, they will all get dumped right in the middle of the hoop. Now, I'm going to start by getting a design from the Big Floral series, and these designs were originally produced in the early 1990s and they were in the Janome Memory Craft 8000, which you couldn't move anything, there was no editing. This design is about that high, and I'm just going to move that one down. Now I have two choices. The next design I'm going to get is this one. Now I know that I want to change the angle of it by 5 degrees, so going to rotation and I'm going to change it by 5 degrees. OK, so there's my design. I've got it just in a place. I want another one like it but mirrored, so if I copy it and then flip it and then move that one over, I've now got two of them that are the same. It's quite difficult to make sure that those two are actually evenly spaced on either side of the centre line. There is another way that I can make that happen more easily. I'll take this one and I'm going to bin it. This one I will move down, and I've got it just below that line. Now I can do this piece and I'll get rid of that one and that one. These two I now know are both the same distance below the centre line and they are both the same distance outside of the vertical line. Let's get the final piece that I want. And here I can do the same thing. And bin those ones. I'm sure you can see what I'm aiming at here. These designs are, I'm quite happy with how they're looking, but this one needs to come up. So touch that one and bring it in there. The whole design at the moment is not quite in the centre, and I would like it in the centre, so I can come across here to the join it all up thing, and yes, we can join everything up OK, and now I would like that in the centre, so the whole piece is in the centre. I'd like to put my name in the middle of that, so I need to turn off the thing that was joining all of the designs together and come up here to the alphabet, in script, uppercase, so it's very easy to make a nice combination of designs in here. Maybe I would like to put some sort of a border all the way around the outside of it. So back in the alphabet, if I come across here to normal sew, you can see there are a lot of designs in here. That one looks nice. And I can just fill up a whole line. That's as many as will fit across the screen. OK. Now I can take this design, copy it, and the new one can just be put right down to the bottom. If I want to put it on either side as well, if I take that one and try and copy it now, I certainly can, but if I try to turn it, see how it's greyed out? It can't actually go there, so it's not going to let me OK that. Let's see what else I can do with it. I can move that particular one that I've just copied, put it in the centre. If I try to rotate it there, I can. The machine will not let you rotate things if part of the design is going to end up off the screen. So now that I've got that one, I can move it over to the right and I can copy it and move one all the way over to the left. That whole design now is ready to be stitched out, but the one thing I might want to do is to decide what order I'm going to stitch these in. So let's make sure I'm going to do that, then that, then that, and then that one, and my name, and work my way around the edge. And when I've got it all in the order I want it done, hit that again. Part of the reason I did that is that I know this piece and this piece have exactly the same combination of colours, so they can be joined up together. And I do that now before I go to the ready to sew, or as I go to the ready to sew screen, by touching that one. So it knows it can do those and join them together. It's got 4, and it knows it can do those 2 and join them together. Nothing it can join to that one. The combination of colours is no good. But the colour that I've got, because it's all in black, will do my name and all of the things around the outside in one go. So that's an OK. And it has sorted out colour groupings so that if we have a look now, we've got it on showing the whole lot, but it's going to do these 2 together. That's the first colour grouping. The next colour grouping is those, then those. So it's joining things together where it can. And we've only got 13 colour changes instead of what would have been an awful lot more had they been done that whole design, then that whole design. Unfortunately, I did not get time to stitch that out before I took the machine back to Kathryn. It was going to take about 2 hours to sew out. I am so grateful to Kathryn for having loaned me her machine. I do have one more video that I filmed on the machine, and that's to do with sewing applications. So I hope you've learned something this time, and I'll see you next time.